Hi everyone, my name is Amber, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do another tier ranking. So I've actually done one of these videos on my channel before, and that was for ranking the 2020 book releases that I have read. And now I'm doing the same thing, except I'm ranking 2021 book releases. And the idea is at the end I'm going to compare 2021 to 2020 to see which was a better reading year in terms of releases for me, not in the year that I read them, but in the actual publication year, if that makes sense. Which one was more suited for me. So I'm going to go ahead and record my screen. Hopefully you can all see this. Last time I tried it completely flopped. So here are all of the 2021 book releases that I have read over the past year, and a little bit because I also read a couple a bit earlier on in 2020 as advanced readers copies. I have read 56 2021 releases so far. Obviously I'm going to continue to read more, but this is where we're at right now, and for comparison's sake I think I've read about 75 2020 releases, or I had at the time of recording the video. So I have read a few more books from 2020, but that's to be expected because they've been out for longer. So anyway, enough rambling from me. Let's get on with the video. So first of all, we have one of my all-time favourite authors, Becky Chambers, who wrote A Song for the Wild Built, which is a novella from her, from Tor. I loved this one, but I don't think it's quite an all-time favourite, so I'm going to put it in great. I feel a bit bad doing this because she is, like I said, one of my all-time favourite authors, but it's not quite on the same level as her Wayfarer series for me. I think it's because I don't do well with short stories. I don't know if any of you are the same, but I don't love them. It takes me a while to get into them, so maybe I will give the sequel to this 5 stars, or I think I gave this one 5 stars, or maybe 4.5, but I think the sequel is more likely to be an all-time favourite for me because I've already invested in the world and the characters. Next we have Ace of Spades. This is a YA thriller contemporary. I'm going to put this in good. I don't think it was anything groundbreaking. I love that there are more thriller books being published by POC authors though, because traditionally the genre, like every genre really, is overwhelmingly white, and this was a little bit different. I did enjoy it. The twist was a bit but it was nothing too horrendous. Amari and the Night Brothers is going straight in great. I loved it so much. It's not an all-time favourite for me, but again, first books in series rarely are. I think I'm going to really enjoy the second book when it finally comes out, because it just got pushed back a couple of days ago. Waterstones emailed me and said my pre-order is being pushed to September, and I'm so upset. It's a middle grade fantasy series and I can tell I'm going to love it. An Emotion of Great Delight by Tahira Mafi. I don't remember reading this one. I've completely forgotten it. I don't think it was a terrible or offensive book or anything. I'm just gonna put it in meh because I can't remember much of the plot at all. I hate it when that happens. Any Sign of Life, I'm tempted to put it in good because like it was all right, but again I don't really remember much about it. I don't think there was anything stand out about it apart from the dog. The dog in it was really cool. So I think I'm going to put that in meh as well, unfortunately. As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson is going in great. It's not an all-time favourite because this ending to this series was a little bit weird for me. I don't really know what the author was doing. She wasn't doing anything bad necessarily, but the main character in this just made some really strange out of character choices, but I guess they were sort of in character but also not. I don't know. It's very difficult to talk about this one without spoiling everything because obviously it's the third book in a thriller series, so it's doubly spoily if I talk about it. Better Together. I don't know whether to put it in meh or nah. I think probably meh because again it was boring. I don't remember much about it. I don't think there was anything super offensive in it from what I can remember. Although it is the book that made me give up on reading any of the author's future books, so maybe I'll put it in nah. Yeah, let's put it in nah. Day Zero is going straight into nah because it was honestly one of the worst sci-fi books, dystopia books that I've read. It was meant to be developing the world that has previously been established because it's like a prequel, and I haven't read the other books, but I don't think it's a good one to read out of publication order, to be honest, because I don't like it. Dial A for Aunties was really funny. I actually really enjoyed it, so I'm going to put that in great. Just because of what it's doing, I really enjoyed the tropiness of it, which sounds really strange, but I love that the main character had to call her aunties to cover up a murder, because we always joke, don't we, about how you should be friends with someone who would help you bury a body. This character has that, but with her family. Every Last Fear by Alex Finlay is going in great because that was a really, really good thriller. There were some questionable things in there that I hope the author doesn't put in his next book. Overall, as a thriller, it was very, very good. Falling, again, was a great thriller. I really, really enjoyed that one. I'm giggling because I'm wondering if I'm actually going to put any books into all-time favourite. We will see. So Falling is a thriller book about a plane that is hijacked and things are going on the ground at the same time. It's a very interesting hostage situation written by an ex-air hostess, which I love. Fat Chance Charlie Vega. I'm going to put that in good. There was nothing wrong with it. I just, a year later, can't really remember much about it. I know that the main character is overweight and her mother is not happy with that and keeps fat shaming her, so she's struggling with a relationship with her mother and also with some of her friends. Felix Ever After is going in great. I loved it so much. I didn't love the ending of the romance though, for spoilery reasons I can't go into. Firekeepers Daughter is going into okay, it depends if I'm talking about the audiobook, which goes in great, or good, which is for the physical book. I think I'm going to put it in great because I listen to it mostly on audio. It's very, very good as an audiobook. I think the narrator did a fantastic job. I think in physical format it kind of waffled a little bit and went on for a little bit too long for a mystery thriller, except it's also a bit more on the contemporary side of mystery, if that makes sense. So it made sense that it was a little bit longer. For Your Own Good was good. It's not the author's strongest work. It's got some really hateable characters, which I always enjoy. The Four Winds I loved. It taught me some stuff about the American Great Depression that happened in, I think, the 30s, was it? And it was set kind of in the Dust Bowl and the characters were trying to get over to California. I really enjoyed it and I would probably reread it. Game Changer was good. It's one of Neil Shusterman's less great books, in my opinion. Like, it's not bad, it's just not fantastic. Greenwich Park I DNF'd, so I'm putting that in now. Happily Ever Afters is going into great because I did really enjoy that one. There's a lot of baking in it, which I always like in my books. Hawthorne Legacy going in great. It's a really good sequel and closes off a lot of mysteries but also opens a few others, so it's ready for the third book. Okay, so here I've got House of Sky and Breath, except that's not actually out and the other book didn't come out in 2021, so I don't know why that's there, so I'm going to leave that. Let's ignore that and pretend it's not there. If I Disappear I DNF'd, so I'll put it there. Malibu Rising. So at the time I really enjoyed it and gave it 4 stars, but I think it's probably more of a good book. It's not standout like Daisy Jones and Evelyn Hugo were. Mina and the Undead is going to go in great. This is doing really good things in YA horror, so it's about vampires in New Orleans, however you pronounce it, and it's also set in the 90s, which is fun. As a 90s child I really enjoyed it. Project Hail Mary I'm going to put in great because I really enjoyed the translation side of it. I work for a translation company and the kind of dialogue and linguistic stuff really appealed to me, so I really enjoyed that, and it's got a really cool companion, let's say, which I really liked. Quiet in Her Bones I'm going to put in nah, just because I don't think it's a very good thriller. It was boring, so it could go in there, but it was so bad I'm going to put it in nah. Rock Paper Scissors, so at the time I probably would have said great, but I'm actually going to put it in good because I don't think it will stand the test of time. I don't think it's an amazing thriller, it's just a really good one. Shipped, all-time favourite. I love this one. It was a romance book and it was so cute. It was set on the Galapagos Islands. The main character is in a hate to love sort of situation with her co-worker, except it's really sweet hate to love, not annoying hate to love like the Hating Game. Really enjoyed it and would highly recommend it. It's a debut as well. Son of a Beach, I don't remember listening to it, but apparently I did. I'll put it in good. I don't think I was bored, I think it was just a bit short. Take Me Home Tonight I'm gonna put in good, although it could go in meh because the first 100 pages was so boring. But overall, it was a fun Morgan Matson book. Definitely not my favourite though. The Effort I'm going to put in, I think this is one that I might have to reread because I feel like I've missed a lot and I don't really remember much about it now. So for now I'm going to put it in meh, but I will reread it and maybe it could go into good or great. I think I was just trying to rush through it, to be honest. I don't really remember loads, so yeah, I'm going to put it in there for now, but please note it might be me rather than the book. The End of Men, it was good while I was reading it, but overall it was a bit of a meh dystopian book. I'm going to put it in good because it was a good idea at the time, like getting rid of men from Earth because of a plague is a lot of fun. Overall, not a great book. Galaxy in the Ground Within is going into all-time favourite. I love Becky Chambers, I've already spoken about her before. I love the Wayfarer series so much. I can't wait to get this one in paperback and reread it. The Gilded Ones is going into great. I really enjoyed that one. I love the world building in it. It was very dark as well in the beginning. The Girls I've Been is going into great. There's a really good trio friendship with a bisexual main character. It's a thriller book. Really good. The Good Sister, I think I'm going to put this in all-time favourite actually because it did really stand out to me, and the main character does have, I don't think she's actually ever diagnosed, but she's neurodiverse, which is always appreciated, especially in thrillers where there's not much diversity to begin with. The Heart Principle is going to go into, oh I don't know, good or meh. Oh, I need to make a decision. Let's go with good because it wasn't terrible, it just wasn't really a romance. It wasn't what I was expecting at all. The Holiday Swap I'm going to put into good. That was also really enjoyable and it was about a bakery, which I loved. The Initial Insult is going into nah because it was boring, so it could go meh, but it was also, in my opinion, one of her worst books, like her worst book. It was terrible. The layover is going into Nat as well because the main character was so whiny and horrible, and it's not a good hate to love, it was a really rubbish hate to love, so that's going there. The Maidens I did quite enjoy, like there's nothing wrong with it, I didn't think. The author could have improved on a few things, which I probably talk about in my review, but I liked it, it was alright. What was this? The 9 Lives of Rose Napolitano. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's going in meh. It was really boring, I can't really remember it. The Other Black Girl is also going in meh. I found that very boring. It was marketed incorrectly though, in my opinion. It was not good. It was a very boring thriller again. The Prison Healer is going to go in great because it kind of blew me away. I wasn't expecting to love it so much, but it was actually really, really good, and that surprised me. The Wild Girls, so that's probably going to go in, I don't know, thrillers are quite difficult because it was enjoyable and it thrilled me, but am I going to remember it in a few years? I'm going to put it in good and be generous. The Woods Are Always Watching is going to go in meh because that was such a boring book. This Is Not the Jester Show, again, going in meh. I gave it 3 stars at the time, but I've forgotten a lot of it and I don't think it was anything standout. Under the Whispering Door, I'm going to put in meh because it was boring. I was so bored. We Go On Forever is going to go in nah because I DNF'd it, I didn't like it. Where the Rhythm Takes You is going into all-time favourite because I did really love it. I love the setting as well. It's set on Tobago, and I don't normally like books about musicians, but I did really like this one, so that says a lot, I think. White Smoke I really, really enjoyed, so I'm going to put that in great. I didn't see the twist coming, or I kind of did. I just sort of worked it out. I was like, oh my god, what if this was the twist? And then it was, so that was exciting. Winter's Orbit is going to go into great as well because I did really, really enjoy that one. It's a political sci-fi romance sort of thing. With You All the Way. No problems with that one. It's a bit forgettable, so it could go in there, but I liked it a lot of the time. I really like the author, so I'm going to put that in good. XOXO is getting a meh because I don't remember it, and again, this one about musicians and singers, I don't really like that. You'll Be the Death of Me can go in meh. I think it was disappointing for Karen McManus, I was not a fan. And You've Reached Sam is also going in meh because it was meant to make me cry and instead it was quite boring. So this is my overall ranking. I don't think this is too bad, you know, I think it's all right. Of course, there aren't too many all-time favourites, but there are a lot of great books and a lot of good books and very few meh or nah books. So yeah, it was a good reading year. I'm now going to look at the difference between this and what I did with the other one. If I saved it, I can't remember if no, I didn't save it. What I'm going to have to do is put the 2021 on the screen now, and you can see what kind of ranking I had. I feel like it's quite even, to be honest. I feel like it's fairly even. I had a few more books in good or fine, it looks like, but again, it was kind of distributed a very similar way. If anything, I would say there are more books between great and good in 2021 than there were in 2020. There were way more books in good than in great in 2020, and I had about the same. I had one category called the worst, and there were about the same amount of books in there. So overall, I think my reading years were pretty similar. 2020 and 2021 had a mixture of really good releases and really bad ones. I feel like 2021 was definitely skewing on the side of really good instead of really bad. This is really interesting though. It does make me wonder whether I'm getting better at choosing which releases I think I'll enjoy, but this is definitely something that I can keep track of over the years and figure out what I actually end up reading and figure out if I am actually a good reader or if I don't know my own taste at all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun for me to do. I might do some more tier ranking videos in the future. If you have any ideas for tier ranking, let me know and I can maybe incorporate them into my channel. I'm thinking of doing a romance one in a couple of weeks actually, even though I'm not a massive romance reader. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll speak to you all in the next one. Bye.